Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this WYLN Sports Special presentation of high school wrestling as the Berwick Bulldogs travel to Hazleton to take on the Hazleton area Cougars. You are looking live at the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium at Hazleton Area High School. Thank you for joining us tonight for coverage of high school wrestling here on WYLN. I'm Marty Burns, pleased to be joined once again by Cause Curry. Jim Burns helping us out with stats. And Cause, I think we were together a couple years ago and we had talked about it. Head coach Keith Mowers really put together a quality Hazleton area program. 9 district place winners returning for Hazleton area this season. And they've got a lot of talent up and down the board. And, just when you think that you might get them due to graduation, you look at 170, they got a young man as a sophomore with 20 wins, Bryce Molinaro.
He has built an incredible program. He works year-round, and he has every weight class filled. He's got a lot of kids to pick from, and, as a result of his hard work, they're in a position that they're going to put probably 9 to 10 more kids through districts this year and just continue to build on the capacity he's and the infrastructure he started.
And when you go across the mat to Berwick and you talk about head coach Ron Swingle and what he's doing here at Berwick, trying to build the numbers back up. They had come away very successful before we went on the air in the junior high match against Hazleton area, trying to build through that junior high program to get Berwick back to where they once were in the wrestling program.
Yeah, Ron has 17 years experience. He's no rookie. He knows what to do, and he is in the process of building a program. And I think that, the numbers that Berwick has lost at the school district level, okay, for whatever reason, he's recruiting and building that year-round program and using that junior high as a feeder program to find success, inspire young kids, and give them an opportunity to, be the next generation for the great wrestling program and the success that Berwick has had.
And one of the changes that we talked about years ago, they would draw to see where you would start. But this is like the old-time wrestling. We're going to start at 106.
This is incredible. I don't know the last time I ever saw a match that started at 106. It's usually like in the middleweights or upper.
So we're just about set for the 106-pound bout. Should mention our referee tonight is Mr. Joe Bartell.
I haven't seen Joe Bartell in years. He was officiating when I was coaching wrestling 25 years ago.
He was talking about before we went on the air how much he loves the sport of wrestling, and that's why he keeps doing it.
Good for him. He looks fantastic. I look forward to seeing him after the match today. Happy New Year.
We're going to start with Berwick, a freshman, Anthony Kalapak. For Hazleton, a newcomer, Edonal Rodriguez. The Bulldogs in the gray with the blue paw prints on either side. Hazleton area with the gray with the Crimson Cougar in the middle. Three 2-minute periods if you're just tuning in for the first time with wrestling.
They're both doing a good job of keeping their elbows in for inside control, not letting each other in. But
now we had talked about, you never know where you start, but I believe these young men had at least a half hour, 45-minute notice to know where we were beginning. And how important is it for each of these schools to get off quickly?
Oh, it's critically important. Build momentum and motivate the guy behind you coming out. Rodriguez had a nice takedown there. Nice single leg, nice finish.
And he is leading 2-0 through the first minute of the opening period.
He's got that tight waist pretty good with a one-on-one on the left wrist. And he got good hips keeping Kalapatch broken down, but I like Kalapatch's grit.
Kalapatch as a freshman coming in at 7-5. Rodriguez, as we mentioned, a newcomer, got a victory last night in their meet against Wyoming Valley West.
He's got a bar arm. He's got at least 3 back points here.
Time is going to wind out. Kalapach does not get pinned, but as you mentioned, the 3 back points has Rodriguez ahead 5-0 through a period.
Berwick's choice, he chooses neutral.
And as a coach, would you just leave that pretty much up to each wrestler's preference to make the call that way? Or do you direct them before you get started which way you'd like them to go?
It depends on how the match is going. And I think in this case, like, he looked over at his coach and gave the up signal because he can see he was kind of struggling in the bottom, but he had, you know, a better shot starting from a standing position to get a takedown. And, you know, sometimes your momentum can take you into some type of a cradle or near fall situation to make up those points. So he's down 5, but you can see he's doing a good job here. And he had a single, he just unfortunately couldn't finish it. But Rodriguez did a nice job of defending it.
Rodriguez looking to try to gain the advantage. Over a minute gone in the second period. He leads 5-0. Now 7-0 Rodriguez.
Nice spin move. See, in that case, he used his Kalapach. Kalapach got a little overextended, and he was able to get around, underhook, get the side leg into kind of a cradle situation, and spin behind for those 2 points. Just using his pressure to his advantage.
And that's why I always find it so interesting. This might be the one sport where it is so much mental as much as it is physical, because you're trying to set somebody up.
Every move, and it's just having, you know, balance and feeling that, you know, the pressures that each other is given, whatever the move may be, and then being quick enough and having enough moves in your playbook that you can manipulate. Another bar arm, turn him over for a pinfall.
8 seconds remaining in the second. A pinfall victory for Rodriguez. And Hazleton area will jump out to a 6-0 advantage. In the 113-pound, neither team will have a wrestler, so it will be a double forfeit, a no contest. So we've got to look at that pinfall on the S.J. Kowalski replay by Rodriguez. We're going to take a timeout. Hazleton area after one bout leading 6-0.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
We welcome you back to Hazleton Area High School. The Cougars in front 6-0 on an Donald Rodriguez pinfall victory. At 1:13, we had a double forfeit, which was no contest. And coming in at 1:20 for Hazleton Area will be Nate Altmiller. And a forfeit victory for Altmiller. Now we move to the 126-pound bout. Jorvin Rodriguez for Hazleton area, a sophomore, also a forfeit victory. So Hazleton area, after 4 bouts, has an 18-0 advantage. We'll be back with the 138-pound bout. So we get a look at Beck Hutchinson of Hazleton area.
Bonanza Steakhouse, 574 Susquehanna Boulevard in Hazel Township, has an unbeatable buffet filled with something for everyone. Our menu includes the finest flame-grilled steaks, barbecue ribs, chicken, seafood, or sandwiches. You can add the buffet to any entree for a little more. Bonanza features daily specials. Join us Saturday and Sunday for our breakfast buffet that includes our famous omelet and egg station, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
The Falvello Law Firm, located at 641 Route 93 in Sugarloaf, offers help with car and truck accidents, wills, powers of attorney, and estates. With a small team of attorneys, they work directly with each and every client, serving all of northeastern Pennsylvania. They are proud to offer legal services that make a real difference to you. Call them at 570-788-4191.
And we welcome you back to Hazleton Area High School, getting set for the 132-pound bout. I was jumping ahead there. And we're going to have John Guerrero, a freshman for Berwick, taking on Beck Hutchinson of Hazleton area, a junior. Hutchinson comes in with a record of 12-11.
Representing Berwick, John Guerrero, and from Hazleton area, Beck Hutchinson.
Hazleton area with the 18-0 team advantage after a pinfall and 2 forfeits. Now we return to action at 1:32. Thank you for joining us tonight here on WYLN. Marty Burns, joined by our special color commentator, Cos Curry. Jim Burns helping us out on stats, and we really have to thank Cos for joining us tonight. May not have seen it in the Hazleton area, but Cos ran into some winter weather coming from Stroudsburg, and we thank you that you made it here safely, and glad to be with you once again, Cos.
I'm glad to be here. Honored that you ask.
Quickly, Hutchinson with a 2-0 advantage here in the opening period.
Yeah, he did a nice job of working the head, working the hips, and just quick spin around. Got a 2-on-1, and he's trying to work a tilt.
And in the case we talked about Hazleton area with a quality program, how much do these youngsters gain just by working in the room at practice with some of these other seasoned wrestlers that have had the success that some of these wrestlers that Hazleton area has had?
It's a snowball effect. You know, it's an opportunity for them. I'm sure they look up to these guys as their heroes. And, you know, the work ethic that they've shown and the success that they've had, it just resonates with these young guys. And I'm sure no different than this, you know, than Guerrero, freshman, you know, wrestling up as in a varsity level sport. You know, he has 10 matches. Hutchinson has 23. They both bring about a 500 record in. It's going to be a good match. But I think that, you know, just going back to the question, you know, no matter what program they are, when you have a young freshman or even sophomore working with these older kids, and as long as they're providing good example, it's going to rub off in a positive way on these young guys, and they're going to be better served for it.
2-1 is the count. There's under half a minute remaining in the opening period.
John had a nice single there. Hutchinson did a nice job sprawling and keeping his hips down. Just ran out of mat space. High crotch single.
2 more for Hutchinson, makes it 4-1. Looks like we may stay 4-1 heading to the second period, as you see the time winding down.
Hutchinson's working for that. He had a one-on-one working, trying to get that bar, so I can see that Hazleton practices that bar series pretty heavy. Stand-up escape for Hutchison.
Hutchison with the 5-1 advantage. Our scoreboard is always brought to you by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships. Hazleton area with a team lead of 18-0, and Hutchison trying to add to it with a 5-1 advantage, approaching the halfway point of period 2.
Good sprawl to get out of that. Hutchinson had a single, and Guerrero did a nice job of hips back, bringing the weight down and get out of it.
And you can see, Cause, that even though Guerrero's listed as a freshman, there are points where he seems like a veteran wrestler out there, not so much being a freshman.
He's a tough kid, believe me. He works hard in the room. He's a good build, strong kid, well-conditioned. He's not thinking he's a freshman out there right now.
And you bring up a great point, Cause. That's where so many spots in high school sports get won, is the practice. Whether you're in the gym, the field, the wrestling room, that's where you end up getting your victories. You know, a lot of the work is put in when nobody's around.
Absolutely.
Just yourself, your teammates, and your coaches.
Hutchinson hit a nice single there. Nice single leg takedown, and you could see that's his move. And I mean, from what I can tell, I think it has to do with elbow position. I think Hutchinson maybe a little more, more seasoned veteran, wrestling a little bit longer, a few more matches, elbows in. He's not allowing it. When those elbows come out, it gives you an opportunity to get underneath and gives you the advantage offensively on any type of takedown.
.7 seconds remains in the second period with a 7-1 advantage for Hutchison.
Little early start there.
And Guerrero will get this to the third period, trailing 7-1. I want to thank the Third Base Luncheonette for supplying our crew meal tonight, as they have for so many events here at WYLN, not only this season, but many seasons at WYLN. Third Base Luncheonette, located just off of 9th Street in Hazleton. Many thanks to the Third Base Luncheonette. And Guerrero was allowed to escape, so he gets a point to make it 7-2. Hutchison in front in the third and final period.
Hutchinson's trying that Russian tie-up. It's where you take the, either arm and you grab from the outside, pulling it toward the wrestler, your opponent, so you have access to the leg. Single leg trip. Get at least 2 back points out of that.
Now Guerrero just trying to hang on and avoid the pin. Ended up leaving the circle. But 4 more key points for Hutchison to go up 11-2 with 1:27 left in the third.
Hutchison chose to allow him to stand up and start from the new standing position for another point, making it an 8-point bout. Nice cow catch. He almost had him.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about this sport. No matter what the score is in the bout, really you're never out of it. You get a quick maneuver and get a quick pin, Didn't matter what the score was to that point.
It doesn't. I've been on the receiving end of those.
I'm sure not very often, Coach.
More often than I choose to remember, Marty.
So it remains 11-3 Hutchison as you see the time remaining in the third and final period in this 132-pound bout.
Nice defense getting out of that single.
Two more for Hutchison. Makes it 13-3. Hutchison with 18.3 seconds.
Hutchison trying for a spiral ride, but stand up by Guerrero was good for another point, making it a 13-4 bout.
Now Hutchison just trying not to let anything dangerous happen here. Finishes out with a 13-4 decision victory.
That'll be a major decision for Hazleton, so it'll be a 4-point team score. But I got to tell you, Hutchison wrestled a real nice match, but I'm encouraged by what Guerrero did. Showed a lot of resolve, and he just, as a freshman, he's going to learn from these kind of bouts and continue to improve. And he's 4-6 now. I could see next year him doing something in districts.
And here we see some of the earlier action brought to you by S.J. Kowalski. We now move to a 138-pound bout. Oscar Zamudio for Hazleton area, a sophomore, an 8-7 record. And one of the top wrestlers in the Berwick program, senior Nick Yule, coming in with a record of 13-3. And we mentioned Berwick numbers being down, but coming into the season, a lot of promise and a lot of hope riding on Nick Yule that be able to succeed not only in the team events, but then once he's in individuals, come districts and hopefully states.
Absolutely, he has a good shot at that, good chance. Did a real nice single there, cut to a double.
Mentioned Zamudio, a sophomore, 5-0 Yule in front. And there's nothing quite like being out there if you're a sophomore, and maybe, Yule might be the better wrestler, but it's going to be one of those cons that you learn from that you be able to take advantage of in your last 2 years at Hazleton area.
Absolutely. You just get so much experience in wrestling, and, it doesn't, there's nobody that can help you on the mat. It's you and the other guy. That's it. And it just takes humility, it takes sincerity, it takes guts. But you learn so much and gain so much from every match that you just continue to get better. And sometimes it's not measured in the record of the wrestler, because I've seen situations where a kid will go out and he'll get pinned, first period, and then he doesn't get pinned to the second period, then the third. Then
right.
You can just see the improvement coming. So it's sometimes it's a competition against yourself for improvement, self-improvement.
Nick Yule off to a great start in this opening period, trying to get Berwick on the board as a team. Leading Zamudio 5-0. Final seconds of the opening period. It looks like we will head to a second.
Yeah. Nick did a nice job. Nick Yule did a nice job of a 2-on-1, trying to work a tilt, and also he's tall and he's got long arms, long legs. He's lanky. Had a real nice tight waist against Aridis earlier in this period.
You'll start with the advantage over Zamudio, leading 5-0. As mentioned, our scoreboard brought to you by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
And again, I mentioned his long legs, and you can see he's using it as a ride technique, and boy, that's tough to get out of, especially with the hip pressure. Just working to break Zamudio down.
And I would think if you're not used to it, you get a young man like Yule, all arms and legs. He's got like a reach advantage, and then when he gets you on the mat, just almost wrap you up with those legs. It just seems like he never ends.
It doesn't. Tall guys, they have that leverage advantage.
Yeah. Got a minute gone in the second period. Yule continues with a 5-0 advantage for Berwick over Oscar Zamudio.
2-on-1 tight waist, and again, doing a nice job of keeping his hips broken down. Unfortunately, we don't get ride time at the high school level like they do at the collegiate. Working the half.
Just a methodical process for Yule for what he's looking to accomplish is a pinfall victory. He's got 15 seconds left here in period 2.
He's got a real nice half there, and the coach is telling him to run it. And Zamudio had his leg out to prevent him from being turned over. It was a nice block technique that he actually used there.
And Zamudio hangs on to head to a third period, trailing 5-0. And Zamudio will have the advantage to start the third.
Nice single leg escape.
6-0 Yule.
Zamudio hit with a stalling call there, so if that happens again, you will be receiving a point.
And that's one of the things when you get a veteran official, I'm sure he's seen just about everything through his many years on the high school mat.
He's a solid official. I mean, he's done district and a lot of postseason level officiating over the years. And I haven't seen him in a long time, but I know that years ago he was doing that, and it typically don't get worse.
Yule almost with a pinfall trying to turn Zamudio over. He got him with 1:02 remaining in the third. A pinfall victory for Nick Yule, his 14th on the season. Berwick is on the board. They trail 22-6. We'll have more high school wrestling right after this.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Mazda. We have a Mazda all-wheel drive for every lifestyle. We have the brand new Mazda 3 all-wheel drive. We have the CX-3 all-wheel drive sport utility. Something a little bit larger, come check out this Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive. 7-passenger Mazda CX-9 all-wheel drive. Or if you want to check out this new baby, come check out what we have cooking with this 2020 Mazda CX-30. So why don't you come on down to Blaze Alexander at Greater Hazleton and see what all-wheel drive Mazda works for you.
Ralph M. Cameron, specializing in quality and affordable construction services for residential, commercial, and industrial. Licensed and insured. Call 570-401-0654 today for all your construction needs.
Stop in at Two Italian Guys Pizzeria for the best pizza in town, serving a large variety of pizza, stromboli, and so much more. Open till 3 a.m. Take out or eat in, delivery available. Call 570-459-2783.
We welcome you back to the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium at Hazleton Area High School. This special presentation of high school wrestling as the Cougars of Hazleton Area leading 22-6. But Berwick getting on the board after a impressive pinfall victory by Nick Yule.
Yeah, Nick used his leverage on that. He had Zamudio took a shot. He got an underhook, turned him quickly, and was able to, grab the pinfall with just about half the period remaining in the third.
We now move to the 145-pound bout for the Bulldogs of Berwick. It's Nate Reinheimer, a sophomore, and he is taking on Christian Kislin, a junior for Hazleton area.
Yeah, Kislin showed some real good strength there on a double leg, able to lift up Reinheimer and have the takedown. He didn't get any back points. Reinheimer quickly reacted, but nice takedown. Cross wrist tilt for Kislin.
Reinheimer trying to turn it around and not get pinned. Minute 8 remaining in the first, a pinfall for Kislin. Making it 28-6 Cougars. Quickly, we'll move to the 152-pound bout, which will have Tristan English, a freshman. Very impressive record, though, caused 15-7, and he's going to match up with Devin Youngcourt, a sophomore for Hazleton area.
Yeah, and Tristan's having a real nice season. He has the most wins on the team, and certainly a lot of promise and excitement with him, and looking to see how he'll do not just tonight, but as we move through toward the district tournament.
And just as we saw John Guerrero, a freshman, but when you see the success that English has had, I would think for Coach Swingle, losing a guy like Ewell, maybe the anchor of this team in upcoming years, maybe English.
Absolutely, and there's a young core of wrestlers in the Berwick program now. They just got to stay together, keep working, and improve. Do it year-round, lift weights, train, compete, and they'll have records like Tristan does. That was actually good by Tristan to be able to stand up like that and get out of the situation by with a potentially dangerous call would stop the match to let him reset.
And it just goes to show his strength. I couldn't imagine if I was the wrestler on top of English and he just picks me up right off the ground with me on his back. Count is even at 2-2 early on in this opening period. Two more for English. Halfway through the first, he leads 4-2.
He used the stand-up, trying to stand up. He never actually finished the stand-up, but again, he used the pressure of Youngcourt to pull down, back up, and slip behind for a two-point reversal.
And quickly, English has a 7-2 advantage. Half a minute remaining in this opening period. Trying to cut into this Hazleton area lead. Final 10 seconds, as you see on our screen. And time to run out on the period. With English on top 7-2. So we get set for the second period. I want to remind you that we'll be right back here tomorrow night for boys high school basketball. As for the first time ever, the Wilkes-Barre area Wolfpack will be in town to take on the Hazleton area Cougars. We'll be on the air live tomorrow night at 7:30 for boys high school basketball. Wilkes-Barre area, Hazleton area, here on WYLN.
Tristan tried a spiral ride to start and quickly moved to a tight waist, one-on-one. Keeping Youngcourt broken down.
We talked about it a little bit earlier when we saw John Guerrero. These freshmen have had to grow up quick, and looking at English, he looks very seasoned. Very surprised in seeing him, and then you still look down on his roster listed as a freshman.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just looking at his moves and his knowledge of the sport, and he certainly has some experiences and wise beyond his years as a young wrestler.
And quickly, Youngcourt turns it around to make it 7-4, English in front halfway through the second period.
Youngcourt likes riding with those legs. And it's keeping Tristan broken in half, so to speak, where he can't stand all the way up.
And that was an adjustment Youngcourt made from earlier in the bout where we saw English was able to stand up.
Right. Stalemate will reset. 24 seconds left in the second period.
And a bout that looked like English was pretty much had the advantage throughout. Give Youngcourt credit. He got himself back into this bout. Now trailing only 7-4 and looking for a possible pinfall.
Absolutely. He's a sophomore, but he's strong. You can see the strength in him and his grip strength and good hips, good balance, keeping him in the match.
That escape by English makes it 8-4. Tristan English heading to period number 3 in this 152-pound bout.
Yeah, the advantage Youngcourt has right now is he's controlling at least 2 of English's body parts, his points of reference, his frame.
Great shot from high above the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium. And English gets 2 more points.
It was kind of a modified switch to get out of that, but certainly gives him 2 more points in the top advantage from a riding perspective. Yeah, the 4 points of support that you have on the bottom, I think that Youngcourt's doing a real nice job of riding and tying up, whether it's his legs, both legs at a time, and hands. If you can get all 4, obviously you're to an advantage.
Right.
And he's consistently had 2 against English, which is keeping him in the match.
Halfway through this final third period in this 152-pound bout that has freshman Tristan English in front of Devin Youngcourt of Hazleton area, 10-4.
Lining up on the right side rather than the left. One-on-one with a half. Nice roll through.
You keep an eye on the time remaining in this 152-pound bout that has reached 30 seconds remaining. English looking for the Bulldogs' second victory of the evening.
It's a real nice match. He looks really good, really strong.
And unless something drastic happens here, Youngcourt won't come away with the victory, but I think a very good bout where he battled.
He absolutely battled, and I think that it was English being a freshman, wrestling an older kid, showed a lot of different moves, a lot of different abilities, and congratulations.
So that'll give the victory to Tristan English, his 16th as a freshman. We're going to take a break and be back with more wrestling right after this.
You You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
And we welcome you back to the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium at Hazleton Area High School. The Cougars leading 28-9. The Bulldogs got their second victory of the evening on a decision by Tristan English. And we have coming out in the 160-pound bout, senior Charles Everdale. And it looks like we're not going to have anyone, so unfortunately we won't get to see Everdale as senior. 21-4, now 22-4.
Well, we're hitting a period of wrestlers here from Hazleton where 4 of the last 5 have 20 wins or more. And you can tell they must work together in the room because they're all doing really good things.
Mentioned this young man at the top of the broadcast, sophomore Bryce Molinaro for Hazleton area, 21-5. He's in the 170-pound bout. He's going to take on junior Lucas Knorr of Berwick.
Wrestling at 170 pounds for Berwick, Lucas Knorr. And for Hazleton area, Bryce Molinaro.
Tap to the head, single, distract. Single bow, spin behind. Immediately lets Knorr up. So he's going to try and build up some type of lead with his attempt will be takedown, let him up if he can.
And that shows in the 2-1 score early on for Molinaro.
Nice single attempt by Lucas.
Two more for Molinaro. Signaled by referee Joe Bartel.
Just kind of shrugged him through. Yep. Used his momentum to his advantage, shrugged him through, and now he's got a half on and working back points.
And an escape there for Knorr, but after the 3 points for Molinaro, making it 7-2, a minute gone in the first period.
Another single. Hazleton likes those single legs. You can tell they work them a lot in the room, and they're good finishers. Working that leg with the half.
Trying to roll Knorr over.
A lot of pressure there. That's tough to overcome.
Quickly, 12-2 Molinaro. Final 10 seconds.
Using legs to his advantage. Molinaro, you can see, is 21-5, and just brings a certain level of confidence along with you when you win that many bouts and you have that much experience.
So Molinaro will start with the advantage.
Spiral ride. Half.
And he gets the pinfall victory. 1:49 left in the second. A pinfall for Molinaro. And Hazleton area will take a 40-9 lead as we take another break and be back right after this.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
John's Family Restaurant in the Churchill Mall. Enjoy a full menu with all homemade food. From breakfast, soups, sandwiches, entrees, and desserts. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner specials. The food is great, the price is right. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Whitetail Preserve has an immediate opening for a chef. Please call 570-455-4251, extension 1378 for details.
We welcome you back to the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium at Hazleton Area High School. Off the Bryce Molinaro impressive pinfall victory at 170. Hazleton Area in front 40-9. And Dante Mattarella in the 182-pound bout gets the forfeit victory. So it'll make it 46-9 Hazleton Area. We'll move to the 195-pound bout. Nick Heimbach, a senior, 11-2, and he's got, this may be the bout of the night, cause taking on senior from Hazleton area, Jake Marnell, 21-2.
Yeah, both wrestlers have 2 losses. Nick may have 10 matches less experience at this point this season, but you're not going to find a tougher young man. Marnell was in deep on that single, but Heimbach showing good hip strength and trying to cross-face to get out of that.
Marnell with 2 points there.
That was a nice single high leg lift to get him off balance to be able to get him to the mat, but
Marnell trying to roll over for the pin. Heimbach doing everything he can, keep his shoulders off the mat. And it's a pinfall victory for Marnell. 36 seconds remained in the first. Jake Marnell with a pinfall victory for the Cougars. We have one more bout remaining. From Hazleton Area High School, watching high school wrestling on WYLN.
Pull it.
There are lots of things you can pull, but what's the most fun? Pulling parts at Harry's You Pull It, the world's largest auto salvage yard.
Pull it. Pull it.
Come visit any of their 3 convenient Harry's You Pull It locations: Hazleton, Allentown, Pennsburg, and Pull It. Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
We welcome welcome you back to Hazleton Area High School. The Cougars with a big advantage as a team, 52-9, coming off a very impressive pinfall victory by Jake Marnell. We move to the 220-pound bout. Sophomore Gavin Cunningham of the Bulldogs taking on Seth Hunsinger, Jr. from Hazleton area.
Yeah, and again, Hunsinger coming in with a 19-3 record. Solid kid, in their lineup, and Gavin, a young sophomore, coming in with a 4-9 record. But again, quick takedown. 2-0 lead.
And a lot of our fans remember Seth, also a very good player for Coach Brennan on the football team. And the thing that always amazes me with these multi-sport athletes, they're always in shape, but to get themselves ready, because each sport is different as far as the conditioning you need to be in. And quickly, Hunsinger with a pinfall victory at 1:22 remaining in the first. Tough thing with these pinfall victories, cause we don't get to talk about these very good wrestlers for Hazleton. They're making the work quick. And now, get a look at the S.J. Kowalski replay. You see the pinfall there by Hunsinger, his 20th on the season for the Cougars. And the last bout of the night, the heavyweight, Noah Craig, will get the victory by forfeit for Berwick. And that'll end tonight's festivities at 58-15 Hazleton area. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
And we welcome you back to Hazleton Area High School. Tonight's wrestling meet has been put in the books as Hazleton Area came away with a 58-15 victory over Berwick. I'm Marty Burns, joined as always for our high school wrestling coverage by Cos Curry. And Cos, we're so thankful you were able to make it tonight with that weather that they had up in Stroudsburg. But to tie in, before we talk about tonight's meet, how are things going for you up in Stroudsburg?
Things are going fantastic. I'm thankful. Got a great board. Love our students, staff, our admin team. I'm very proud of what we're doing. We're a lot with career development, curriculum rewriting, policy development, and just working on tightening up our budget and just constant cycle. But really happy with the things that are happening. We have great athletic programs and music programs. So we're 6A school. We have 5,200 students, and I'm really honored to be leading it.
And before you know it, you'll be on TV again overseeing another graduation.
Yes. My sixth one there already.
Time flies, right?
Believe me.
But let's talk
Thanks
about
for
this.
asking.
Let's talk about this meet, and I want to start on some of the positives for Berwick. We talked about one of the wrestlers that were looked upon was Nick Ewell, the senior, and he had a very impressive pinfall victory earlier on in the bout. Got them their first victory as a team tonight over Oscar Zamudio.
Absolutely. He uses leverage. He's tall. He has great experience. He's confident, and I see him going far in the state tournament. Like I really do. Like I think he has. He's a special young man who he works hard in the room, and the guys push him, and it speaks for itself for what he did tonight.
And then we go from senior to freshman. I thought I was One of the wrestlers very impressed with tonight was freshman Tristan English for the Bulldogs. He came away with a nice victory tonight.
Absolutely. You know, he's a shining star, you know, a young shining star at that. And as a freshman, he's only going to get better. And he's 15-7 now, doing great things, and we just want to see him continue to, you know, grow and just encourage him, you know, encourage all of them, you know, from both teams.
And then we talk about that when we go over to Hazleton area, a young man that I remember we've been here through the years, seeing Jake Marnell wrestle as a youngster, now a seasoned senior. And in the battle of the night against Nick Heimbach, Jake Marnell came away with a very impressive pinfall victory.
Yeah, I mean, again, Nick Heimbach's a tough kid, and you know he's a fantastic wrestler. He's 11-2. You know, Jake Marnell's 21-2. They're both seniors. They both have, you know, experience, and you know, Jake had a nice single leg, and I call it like a high pop, where, you know, you're holding the single, and Nick was doing a real good job of trying to get his leg back, but it was a good move out of the repertoire of Jake. To, you know, it was like a high crotch on the leg, so to speak, lifting him literally off the mat to be able to get a trip. And then when you go down, you're off balance. You take him to started with a half Nelson, but then quickly adjusted to a reverse half, went chest to chest, used his strength and his weight to, you know, have a pinfall in a very, you know, short period of time. But sometimes that happens when you're, you know, in an imbalanced situation.
And Coach Maurer for Hazleton area has a lot of anchors and veterans to look for. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Charles Everdale tonight, a victor by forfeit, but we did get to see a sophomore, Bryce Molinaro, pick up his 22nd win. Junior Seth Hunsinger in the last bout of the night pick up his 20th win. And just this veteran leadership for Hazleton area, not only as a team that has to be contended with in districts, but names that you're going to have to look for when you get into the district and state level.
Absolutely. I mean, this amount of wins doesn't come without hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. And you know, truer words couldn't be said for the last five in Hazleton's lineup based on their, you know, records and standings right now.
Hazleton area as a team comes away with their 6th victory of the season. And we are going to say goodnight from Hazleton Area High School. For our director, Where Have You Gone, Joe Maggio. Helping out on stats tonight was Jim Burns. We thank you, Cause, once again for joining us. Let's do it again next year.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back.
We always love to have you back, Cause. Always enjoy to work with you. We thank Cause Curry. I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Once again, the final. Hazleton area 58, Berwick 15. Join us right back here at the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium for boys high school basketball. As for the first time ever, Hazleton area will play the Wolf Pack of Wilkes-Barre area. Will be on the air live tomorrow night at 7:30. This has been a WYLN Sports Special presentation. Good night from Hazleton.
You're watching WYLN TV, where your